Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I'm really late wrapping up last week, but I had a lot going on this weekend and just never could get around to it. The main thing that I was working on, I'm looking to make a move from Omnovia to this new chat room platform that's going to be more education friendly. For me, the chat room was about real time education and actually, learning how things are work real time, learning how to do things real time. And one of the problems we had with Omnovia is the lag. And then the charts taking a long time to load up and all this stuff. So this so far on this platform, I've been working with it this weekend trying to get things set up. We have no lag. It's like 1,000 times better. So we're gonna look to test it out Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday tomorrow I've got labs in the morning, so I'm gonna be late getting to my desk. It's gonna be after the open, so I don't want to start something on a morning that I'm going to be late getting in the market. So we'll start it Tuesday and Wednesday, test it out. It's a little different, the layout, but it's different. It's difficult for me having dyslexia. Change is really difficult. So I was able to work through it. So I'm pretty sure, a lot of you guys won't have issues with it. So, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow. I just want to let you know what I was working on and why it took me so long. There's a couple other things, but that we've got coming up. But we'll talk about that in chat. It's for the members anyway. So, if any of you guys have been trading for a while, this is reality. This is the reality of your trading path. This is what everybody wants to sell you on. And, help you plan your trading path, your path to success. But this is what it's really like. And it looks scary. And sometimes it feels scary because you may not have the right information. Or you may not have the rest of the story. You only have the beginning. Or you may have the end, but you were never told the beginning. And you weren't told the things that you're going to have to go through in order to get to where you want to be. And so if you've been trading for a while, this is the path. But it doesn't mean you can't get there. Okay? Because your road is going to be met with pain. It's going to be met with disappointment. You're going to be stressed over this, stressed over that. But I'm here to tell you, do it anyway. It's going to be worth it. All of the pains and the toils and snares that you're going to deal with, it's going to mold and shape you. It's going to help you develop that discipline and that patience that you're going to need to be profitable. So in other words, you're going to have to go through this in order to be the trader that you want to be. So know that it's going to be met with pain and disappointment, but do it anyway. It's going to be worth it. You guys know I went through it. I started doing this when I was working full time. I tried it for the first time when I was teaching full time. And man, I went through it. But it's worth it, guys. All right, so let's take a look at we're going to wrap up last week. This is Thursday. And we traded TIF. Now, this one wasn't on earnings, but the news came out that another company that was looking to buy it out upped its offer. And this isn't a legit buyout. There's no agreement or anything. So for me, I'm looking for this thing to sell back off and come back down to earth. And that's what I was expecting. So I waited in the chart, set up for opening range breakdown. I thought we would have a really nice move. Had this made it to the 100 period right off the bat on this candle, I'd have been able to take some profit on it. But it didn't. It bounced. And in the meantime, the 9 just got up so much that it didn't make sense for me to take profit here. So I had to wait, see if we were going to break through this. It almost made it to where, hey, we were headed north, but it never made a higher high here, and it started to come back in. Eventually, it broke the 100, and we got down to, this wasn't where I wanted to take profit, but it'll do. 50 cents was okay. I took 2/3 off. Whenever we're not having the volatility that I like to see, and you can see the volume was abysmal. It was terrible all through here. It was okay when I got in, but look at what happened to the volume. It was just nothing there. Nothing to drive it. So whenever there's low volume like this, it's easier for a stock to go down than to go up. And so I was just kind of waiting and hoping that it would come down, at least hit the 200 for me. But it didn't. You see it kind of took off going into the close, and I ended up taking it off. But only 113 bucks. Last week, it was just really slow. I think I made $100 every day except for one. And I think I made $300 or $400 that day. I can't remember. But it was just really slow. The volatility is just not there in the market. If you look at what the SPY did last week, it practically closed flat. I think it was down 0.3%. So the market was just flat last week. And it told in our day trades. I mean, it even hurt some of the swing trades as well. But it's just what we're dealing with. It's all of the mess that's going on in Washington and the trade war. It's got people shook up, and people that are waiting for the market to roll over like it did last year. Even though 70% of the stocks in the S&P 500 are trading above its 200 moving average. 70% on the daily. Okay. Last year, only 40 were. So you could see there's a difference here, but I guess people aren't really buying it. And, time will tell. But it's what we're having to deal with here. So on Friday, kind of the same thing. This SPLK sold off going into the open, but it caught some bids again, got bid up, bought all the way back up. Once we broke the pre-market high, which was really close to the 5-minute high, I bought it and ended up taking profit here. The mistake I made here was I didn't take 2/3 off like I did yesterday. In a low volatile market, I'm going to take 2/3 at my first target because there's no guarantee that it's going to make it. And you see every time we're back into this cycle. This is what we saw all summer long. Breakout, hit a target, and it craps out the rest of the day. I mean, we never got, but the bad thing about the summer was we rarely got trend continuation. If we did, it didn't really give us much. So, I waited, it bounced, and even if I had waited for it to make a new high, I still would have been stopped out. But I got in on the bounce. Looked like we were getting ready to rip up, make a new high, and I could cover some or sell some here at this level, around 140. But it just ran out of steam. You can see it ran out of steam. Look at the volume. Look at what happened to it. It just flat ran out of steam. And then all of a sudden, you get this huge sell candle that slaps me with a 30-cent slippage. I mean, this thing washed out. I turned my head for maybe a minute, and I looked back, and I'm stopped out, and this candle has washed out, and 30-cent slippage. I mean, unreal. But you've got to have this stuff in here, especially if you walk away or you're looking at other stuff. You got to have your stop. And we're going to talk about that this week. So I'm going to take some time and explain my stop to you guys, because it works. You guys see it every day. It pretty much works flawlessly. I mean, there's nothing you can do about a stock washing out. You're going to get some slippage, but that stop's protecting you if it just continued to go. But, it didn't. You see it bounced a little bit, rejected the 9, the VWAP, the 20 here, and started to sell back off. But the 100 held. And what we're seeing lately are stocks moving to the 100 and then bounce. So it held 100. There's no way I was buying it into all of this mess. Once it got back over the pre-market high, I could buy it risking on this. And I've got all of this support again that didn't do me worth the crap over here. Still had it over here, but this time it was trending up. Wasn't really, well, I guess it was trending up over here too. But I felt better about it over here. And so that's when I got back in. Again, I got in with 300 shares. The good thing is on this one, I only took 200 shares. I kind of lost confidence, but I felt better over here. Felt I could manage 300 shares again. So I got in 300 shares, took some profit along the way, just never got to my main target, which was like 141 and some change. Ended up coming back and it spooked me out. Ended up stopping out. Well, actually, I tightened my stop. It should have been right below this candle, but I tightened it up. And where it was just below this candle or this one, I can't remember. And it stopped me out. And I would have been able to make some more money had I waited and taken it off at the end of the day like I normally do. But I don't think this was a bad idea, because you could see we were making lower highs, and I just thought this was just giving up, and that if we broke this, we were going to come back, but it didn't. That's what I get for thinking too much. But 109.26, again, another $100 day, but we're adding money to our account. I don't care if it's $50. If you're adding to your account is growing. Your buying power is getting better. And as you gain experience, the more and more experience you gain, the larger position size you can trade. So building your account up to where you can take that larger size and you can make more money, it's going to be ideal. All right, so I did take half off my swing trade on SCRV on Friday. Here's the entry here. And I think we did entered on Monday. And I took half off here because we were hitting the 20 SMA. This is the 20 SMA. This is the 20 EMA. And you could see I was concerned because this thing had opened up. The distance was so great here that I just had to take some off here. I was waiting for the 20 EMA, but I just didn't have faith in the market. And I kind of changed my plan here mid-flight. Now, if you go back and look at my swing, it's on the website. on ACAD, you can clearly see I got spooked out. I even drew the flag there for you, and I'll bring it up here in a minute. But I got spooked out of that. This I feel better about because I did use this. I didn't get spooked out down here. I learned my lesson from ACAD. This thing bounced, but I did take it off at this level. I am still looking for it to get back up toward 41, 42. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to have legs or not, but I had to lock in profit here. I don't foresee me letting it run through Thanksgiving weekend. So either way, if I don't get stopped out, I'm planning on taking it off Wednesday. But this was another one that did pretty good. A nice short-term swing. Minimal risk. It's what we like. I just wish the market was a little bit better to drive it home. But here's where you can see the entry and the exit plotted. I'll download this to TraderView so I could print a chart that has both the entry and the exit on it to put in my journal. Even though I have the DOS, it doesn't save it from day to day. You know, that was one of the most frustrating things in the beginning because I wanted to have it to where, like on Thinkorswim, if I take a trade on Monday and I get out on Friday, it will still have it there. Where I got in on Monday, I could pull up the daily chart and it'll have both the entries and exits there. But if there is a way to do this on DOS, I hadn't figured it out yet. But that was that on SCRV. And you can see I went back to trading my normal size that I would in a 5K account this past week because this deal with CMEG, now I'm not saying that they're bad, but if you are a business owner, they treat you like a criminal. I mean, that's just the way, that's the feeling I get. And I didn't like it. So I'm not fooling with them anymore. You know, I don't have to deal with them. So, you know, I told them they can go to hell. Told them what they could do with it and where they could put it. So, you know, I don't have any issues with any U.S. brokers over here. But, you know, I don't know who the hell they thought they were, but they're not going to deal with me. But it's just the market just really slowed down. You can see 366.19 on Tuesday, but the market was just not really nice. You know, not nice. But still ended up with 868.20 on the week. I'll take it. That's better than being red. It's better than nothing. So we'll look to see Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll see what we could do. You might as well say the market's closed Friday. Unless you like watching paint dry, you can watch the algos trade each other. It's up to you. But I'll be sleeping in. I'll probably be in a food coma. But we'll see what happens going into next week. And we'll go from there. All right, so I did do the video on how to read this. It's at the end of the day trading class videos. It is labeled as how to read the earnings email. So you guys can go over there. It's already there. If you have any questions about it, just shoot me an email or ask me tomorrow in chat. But you guys have a great night, and I will see you first thing tomorrow morning.